And let's see if the Brazilian dreams can continue with an opening day of Counter-Strike that's absolutely delivered already. We go into the 4th match of the A stream, Ence versus Furia, a best-of-1 on Vertigo, and Snappy's got something to say about it.
Yeah, I can barely hear myself think out here. It has been the Furia waiting room all day long. In the middle of that last match, they were doing Furia chants. And we get Vertigo, which is so special. I mean, it's a map that Furia have been playing for a long time. They've taken some big wins on it, and Ence have also loved it. So what happens now? Drop will trade 1 for 1, keeping the advantage to the CT side for the time being, but it was never the plan to get the bomb down over here. And now it's time for the ultimate space creator to get involved. Art, he finds his kill.
Down goes Diha.
They're a bit slow behind him, however.
Matting gushed. Art's going to be racking up kills here. Needs the reload. Valda's pushing. Sunpius comes through with the kill. Yuri looking to control it. Where the hell's csgo? He's flanking, coming around from elevator. Valda seems to know he is pinched because the bomb goes back, but csgo will put an end to the hopes of Ence's pistol win. It's a T-side start for Furia.
Yeah, of course, Art's going to play some creative round to open up the game. Ends up working out beautifully. A lot of moving pieces here, and chances for Ence to get back into it. But you know what? They missed a lot of shots, man. They had that high-low peak. Facing towards short side. Ence are joining us now for the Legend stage, but of course made it directly there. Furia spent a week in front of this stadium, and that has provided good and bad results depending on who we've looked at. It hasn't always been the case that that experience has been good. Today, of course, we saw B&E get dismantled, but we also saw Cloud9 come back against Faze, which was quite interesting. So
heroic will smash outsiders.
Yes, yes, but
it's not a curse for everyone,
for sure. And for Ence, I mean, they've played in front of crowds, of course. They have some stadium experience. They also have a new lineup. They had a really good RMR to get to this point, but their new addition of Valda to replace Spinks, this is something that's still developing.
And while we do talk about the fact they have stage experience, I've always been sort of critical of Ence for being this team that really never embraces the crowd, never even tries to add it to their formula. And we go back to Antwerp, because again, not everybody has to be, but in Antwerp, you know, their semifinal versus NAVI, I mean, they, I think, just got trounced by the pressure, by the presence, and I'm curious to see as this roster goes on, if there's anybody who does step up to that role, or what, you know, maybe Ence can do it without anything on their side. But Art, well, he finds the target. Snappy gets dunked on, pistols up inside sight, will try to hold the line, and Safe's just gonna do what he does. Sit around, keep him busy, leave Ence occupied as bomb heads B, but don't forget about Madden. He can hit real hard. Won't get the chance. csgo finds the headshot, bomb plant comes through from drop, and Ence have been dodged. The threat of those armored pistols, nothing.
I will say that you take players like Kerrigan or Apex, and they just, they have their heart on their sleeve, and people love that energy, and they've created fans. And I really think it can be a boon to you to have the crowd on your side. I don't think it has to be on your side for you to win, and we know about teams like Fnatic who are never cheered for and had entire eras.
Sure.
What's important, though, is not playing worse when the crowd's not on your side. And I don't think it happens to be Ence that crumbled earlier because they've just always been bad in front of crowd. They're just new. You know, they're just new. So they said themselves it didn't really matter. Maybe they were just worried about the match itself. It's very hard to read into everyone's emotions, but we know that it doesn't matter how much you're loved in this matchup. You're not winning over this crowd playing against Furia.
No. No matter how legendary you may be, and props to Snappy, I think, you know, kind of working on his career, on his legacy. How many rosters does this guy have to build up to keep relevant at the top of Counter-Strike before he gets the respect he absolutely deserves?
Yeah, first half of the year, he's on everyone's radar. People were talking about him, looking to end strong here, fall, winter, with the Rio Major.
Art, right ahead of the util. Again, that nade's gonna find out Snappy. Not a gun round yet, so not the most massive of entries, but I think it just does bode well for Furia to slot back into that comfortable place that they ended the last stage in. Art doing what he does. And now, having played a few matchmaking games, Launders, here in Brazil, I have to say, this guy has changed the culture of Brazilian Counter-Strike. Nobody holds W.
No.
No what?
No, that's not it.
Oh! No what?
Well, yeah. Okay.
They love it!
Listen, it's not that he created the culture, it's that he's born of it, okay? Furia were born from the Brazilian pug scene. They epitomize it. Other teams around them in history have had players that have gone back to 1.6 and have brought a specific style that has some aggression involved in it. Art is the ideal form of a Brazilian player. He kind of lives it every single day of his life. And the team's philosophy is built on that. Those players that you saw that say Art taught them everything, they taught Art too.
Balled up, finally with guns in hand. Let's see if Ence can weather the storm. Safe, quick. 2 CTs on short, however, and Safe, well, one is low. He's gonna get engaged with it. Madden, only gets the one. It's Diha who comes out from elevator to hold it, and we're into the even 2v2.
Yeah.
Silence.
Oh, a quiet moment, but there are other plans being worked on. The bomb is on the other side of the map. And we've also got a position where csgo can cause some noise and maybe a distraction. Jalil coming in with the op, not holding the god angle back in spawn will allow drop to completely cross for free.
Holding
the
no
plant can come in, and this is actually a position, depending on where drop decides to put the bomb down, we'll know where csgo wants to come in on the lurk.
Sunpayas wastes no time.
It might be the prerogative here for drop to try to stay alive if csgo is going to come in through mid. We don't know yet.
He's pressed in.
Oh, full flank now.
Frag grenade for csgo. Maybe damage could be instrumental. We've got 2 smoke grenades, of course, for Ence. And there's the contact made. Sunpayas right to the headshot. Pushes the pressure onto csgo, who has been playing out of his mind for more than a month at this point. But with that tap-on bomb, you see the desperation come through.
Oh, he's
now Sunpayas is going to stick, and Diha just senses him inside that smoke, hones in on him, and with the rifles, Ence will turn this tail back, as this will not be easy. Don't think for a moment that,
Wait, what happened?
No kid. I swear he got on with more than 10 seconds.
I swear, I thought he had enough time to pull that off.
Did that not feel like he had it from the start?
I'm not sure, man. I thought so, but it's so loud in here. I couldn't even tell. Look at the bomb, how far it's taken. Is there no kid in this situation? Oh, literally just comes down to the wire.
You're kidding.
Oh my God. So the delay works. And they smoke out their target and take a little bit too long to kill him. Can't get back on the bomb in time, and Furia go up 4-0 here on T side. They run over certain teams like Big. There's a couple of reference games this year where they've shown how they play their T side is they post plant and then they go a step deeper. And the key to Furia's success in some of these post plant situations is now we know a lot of retake utility comes from heaven on A site and from the heaven on B site, and Furia will push into those spots and smoke deeper and make it so you can't even line up your easy Molotovs, your easy grenades to stop the bomb from going down. And they're very comfortable putting people out there to get that material in aggressive positions. And we're going to see a lot of csgo lurks through mid in this match 100%, whether it's A, B, or if it's a full committal in that direction. And for Ence, picking up Sunpayas, this is the guy I focused on a lot, watching a lot of his games on this map. And he starts off in almost every single position, but plays relatively tight to the center of the map and will hold angles, but never go too deep. You'll see him taking the odd risk towards A ramp. Sometimes he's opping from sandbags. Overall, though, he's not going to be a guy who will ever like flank with the up, you know, which is already a rare situation for anybody. But chilling on deep control is not how they're going to use him.
Yo, shout out to all the Counter-Strike moms. Shout out to Furia for getting through that with by the skin of their teeth.
Yeah,
the time.
That's actually nuts, and it's just a very costly round as well. That's a mood booster. You think you lost, and you're given a gift. Art already having a good game is obviously a great sign.
Sure. And, well, he will be bested by Madden.
Oh,
he's got Yuri right behind him.
Yuri's trades have been insane, actually, so far this game even.
The consistent piece of Furia. Sunpayas tries to come out with the Desert Eagle, gets hit pretty hard, but quad. That's the one M4. The weapon that had to succeed here for Ence if they hope to recover. Safe's got the trade.
Great damage.
Sunpayas just stuck behind green. Furia gonna fall away.
Yeah, CT's starting to rotate over, and Furia have a big incentive to press pause for a second, maybe attract the attention, maybe go back to the site, but let the CTs disperse, because the longer you wait, the more insecure they'll become, especially if they never had a flank coming in the first place and they don't have great guns. Now, they actually also had the incentive to go and pick up the guns that were dropped off, so that might be what Furia are preying on right now. Ence would be happy to keep 3 guns into the next round, so that will be priority number 1. If it came back to B, they'll also be able to put up a hold. And it looks like a great call here from Furia as they pick the right site, and the CTs are spread out. But Valda, he's in a winning position, and oh, he pulls that spray together. I think with,
barely any health.
8 health left over.
Listen, man, 2 of these 2 CTs could just get completely pushed over. A single bullet will get the job done on Valda and Sunpius. Valda slides out. Yuri unsuspectingly falls down to it. And now it's csgo looking for the clutch.
He was in immortal form in Challenger stage, but on 34 HP, you think no way.
They're already starting to pressure him with bullets. They whiz by. Sunpius starts to walk up. Oh, no, not this time. And with time to defuse.
Well, let's see.
Hold on.
Maybe they...
Wait.
Something happens. Okay.
We're good.
I think we're good.
Valda's going to find Ence's first round. And, well, csgo, again, you know, had a chance, but felt like with that flank, they knew for certain. They knew for certain. They honed in on him. Just way too much to ask. Nice spray from Valda. Love the commitment to that one. And then the fact that he slides out, doesn't wait for teammates. You know, he did that entirely on his own.
And it has to be first bullet, right? 8 HP. His opponent turns right back to him. There's, of course, a chance he dies there. So a key kill, and Spinks, massive shoes to fill for Valda. You know, role-wise, personality-wise, it feels like a very sensible fit. But Spinks has kind of skyrocketed his stock this year into being looked at as a replacement for players of caliber like Nico, you know what I mean, in terms of how much output he had earlier on, and he's already picked up a LAN trophy as soon as he's joined Vitality. Valda has always been floating around the scene. He's a player who we thought during the prime Astralis years there was always a chance that he could have slotted in to that main lineup, and that was probably a consideration for a long while. Of course, a very long time ago, was actually a dynamic duo with Glaive before Glaive even joined Astralis. But now he's found himself on an international lineup with some very competent players and a superstar IGL. I mean, not as an individual, but Snappy definitely holds his own. But in terms of what he's brought in terms of calling this year, I think the team that has the most set plays of maybe any lineup that I've seen, whether it's fast strats or layers on their defaults. And I feel like at first it was, you know, it was kind of doing maybe too many of the same ones, but then he just showed so much range as the year went on, got more comfortable versus all the top teams, and then made Ence one of the most fearsome teams to play against. Last time that they played against Furia, it wasn't even the same lineup. It was over at Dallas, back with Spinks. Ence were able to win there. This would be a huge revenge victory. And this is the kind of first round where these two teams are so even strength that you don't want to give this one up. You know that you could win on your best day.
Not with the likes of Vitality, Faze already eating those best-of-1 losses. Again, right, the first day of each stage of the major, you're left at either 2-0, 0-2, or 1-1. And you do not want to have to be in a position to fight back with 3 best-of-3 wins. Not many teams can pull that off. So the best-of-1's a blessing or a curse. But we're back into the action. Ence's first round win on the board by way of retake. Don't forget as well, right? They do that with just the 1 M4 over towards that B site. They collect the weapons from it. They get back over towards A, but Snappy gets caught out by Yuri.
Yeah, lurking around the smoke on A ramp. It's not a weird spot to be in, and that's why Yuri decided to toss a few bullets in his direction. Up here, Sunpius finds his one before the smoke blooms.
Molly on the opposite end, so utility blocking off both sides of middle. This is creating a great pocket for Drop to play in, but Flash interrupts his engagement.
Yeah, but they've got the CTs believing it's going to be the B site. No decisions have been made quite yet. We've seen some enormous rotations from the T side, and it looks like, yeah, they are going to swing back in the other direction. Happy to keep Valda in the same spot, ready to spot from heaven. Of course, they've already seen him do this.
Right.
But drop. He gets a kill inside of middle as the lurker.
Yeah, too many bodies over towards mid, so they go prying in front for information. Caught victim by drop posted on top of smoke. Last time Valda held this, but his opponents were low HP. This time, he's caught with a nade out. It's gonna underhand the frag. Negligible damage. Quesarado doesn't give a damn. Rushes in, goes for plant, volley at his feet. Time starting to become an issue.
No further smokes.
Nope, gotta wait that out. Need to wait. Luckily for them, smoke's still up on elevator. They press as some pious drop. Valda back in with another kill. He's been pretty big on the A site. Drop though. That is a big round from Drop. And he's one of those players that can go quiet, but when he hits hard.
I think he's a super smart player. He got the lead space on the team. I think he does really well in his positions. And honestly, he's one of the least talked about Academy success stories. We didn't get a lot out of him in terms of interviews and stuff like that when he was on the come up. And since he's just slotted in as kind of a pure support player on Furia, he has the least attention as an individual. Of course, when you're in Quesarado or playing on your team, I'm not surprised, but he does his job. And he came from Furia Academy, which was not really promising outside of him for a long time. They took on the ambitious role of trying to create another type of Furia with a similar play style.
Madden walks away, posts up. Nice reposition here from Madden, and even better is Snappy on the aggression. Look at this, Madden comes in, chomps down, drop. Valda, he wants a piece of this puzzle. Trying to piece it all together, and sure enough, everything is here for the taking. Snappy's gonna come back. That's 2 more kills for him, and Ence obliterate Furia halfway up that ramp. I mean, fights on short, top ramp, and then just that follow through to give no chance to Furia.
It was the 3-pronged aggression that made sure that Furia, as they were moving forward, as you should in Counter-Strike, try to find your fights this way. They do a good job of being proactive, but never really committing to completely down the ramp until that final frag comes through. So it feels like it's just these apparitions floating around, picking off these targets. And in reality, Ence were being very active.
Another fast one, though.
That flash
Furia,
perfect.
not going to shy away by the looks of it. Art looking to hunt, but we've got 2 CTs on the short side. Trade frag. Madden gets taken down from the bottom of the ladder, and Art is fully blind, just left in the open.
3 CTs all spotted at this point, but they kind of want to walk towards the fight. Yuri, you're Rado here on the ramp.
It's a long walk if they try to take it to B.
Interesting one way it actually works out. D-Hawk.
Headshot, a jump up. They saw that. Sunpaya's position known. The short player's out though. Valda, he's actually come out, extended into Henny, and sees nothing. Maybe he saw that departure. And so now he's between the 2 Ts. And being between them could be a curse or a blessing. He drops bomb, and Quesarado, who was once known, could have gone unchecked. Valda's still just doing his own thing, comes to the side of the yellow tarp, more damage through it. Oh, and a headshot to end it. But low mag, 3 bullets. Quesarado taking a big task, and so he'll stop to reload and give himself the best chance to finish the half health of Sunpius.
You can see he's trying to hold on to the info as much as possible, just in case a late rotation came in. Sunpius so low, though, has no plans to try and go for this, and he seems suspicious of the big flank. Hasn't spotted Sunpius for so much time.
Yeah, it's been a long time since he saw that jump up on the box. So in Quesarado's mind, anything is possible.
But now he's running out of time to potentially go back to the other side if he wants to. He's going to take the risk. The AK is out for this much time. It's going to come down to the wire. It always feels like you've got a little extra to spare, but look who's chasing him in this direction. Smoke will go down on the site.
He's going to need the kill.
5 seconds, and I don't think he can plant this. He's not going to get off it either, and he doesn't die.
No.
Oh, and the bomb doesn't get planted. He stays alive with 1 HP.
No time.
Whoa.
Damn, I mean, in that moment, you know, you're trying to squeeze everything out of it that you can. I'm quite shocked that Quesarado was so afraid of the A site.
Well, he just didn't know where Sunpius was, so.
Just ran. Ran for the hills and nearly gets away with that.
Remember what I said, information's only good when it's new. Sunpius didn't show himself for any period of time after that play from Valda came in.
Well, reality check then. The life of the A site comes to an end. Great grenade damage already out for Ence. Look at it soften up Furia as they try to press their way through middle, and they have gotten beyond it somewhat. Art, more nade damage. He's lucky to even be alive. He stands still, and Valda ends him. There's a chase deep into CT, but all is going well here for Ence. Yuri back with some damage. Gonna hear that reload close left, but it draws him into Snappy, and so there's layers here for Ence on the mid hold, and everything there for Furia. Every step of the way was costly.
Hold on, that's very expensive.
Yeah,
and,
I'll hold my breath.
That's Snappy and Sunpius low, almost dying in one spray. Quesarado thinking, where could the next duel come from? And Sunpius in this patience again. Not looking to give him an inch, just cutting off the rotation through CT to B, looking to reinforce if he's needed. But no mistakes so far from Quesarado, or sorry, from Ence. And Quesarado, well, he'll take matters into his own hands. Wrapping around, and I'm sure they're terrified of him. He moves slow, but with conviction.
Just trying to piece it together.
Oh my God, he actually did turn in that direction. Diha, he gets bored, he comes out, he ends the duel. He makes this a one-round game. Furia with a 5-round start, but now Ence are starting to heat up. They looked really shaky in terms of aim, but they've actually warmed up fast.
Cerrado trying to set himself up. That could have been a 2K spray, but then they showed him nothing. Ence did a really good job of just becoming wallflowers, disappearing, as has that economy for Furia. So we'll get the MAC-10 here for Art. Armored is Yuri. Quesarado holds bomb, and Falda
they have no idea.
Starting to press in. That's an early death. Snappy's gonna get caught in the open here, but Sunpius already helping out from down beneath. It's an all-in from Furia on the ramp that continues to cost them bodies.
Yeah, the guns aren't great. I mean, Quesarado does have his AK. He's walking this back, and Art is trying to sell a fake, split the CTs up, and they are biting. They've seen Furia rotate all the way to B enough times that they're trying to cut this off, which means it's Madden V2 on A. Gun goes to the more fully health player in Art, and they'll have now some time to try to work towards the site while there's one player here. So they set in place one move to build the tension of the round. And they have forced the rotator spot in from Madden, but he's got the two most important pieces of utility you could ask for.
Even if this bomb goes down, it's still a desperate spot for Furia, so.
And they don't have a smoke to stop the molly. Nope. He's actually not in the spot to nade, though. The post plant nades are not going to come in. He should be in heaven.
It goes down.
Instead, he'll just walk out. Oh.
Art caught exposed, and then those utilities that could have stopped the bomb plant should now stop this round from falling into the hands of Furia. But Quesarado, it's low health. Oh, and he drops Madden to 2 HP, but what do you know? Easy retake as far as Ence are concerned. It just scares me that, you know, all this frantic fighting goes down on the ramp. It was just the pistols for Furia, and Ence, you know, these aren't sustainable losses. I guess Sunpius does have 12,000.
Yeah, that was a real gap that they just didn't have anybody watching yellow. So Rush came up in that direction. Nobody peeking from short side, no one holding back even passively. And Valda just ready to swing, so not sure what the idea is there. But so far looking more and more comfortable are Ence in the slower paced rounds, getting it together. Always comfortable to retake as well. They're giving money over to Furia, who will happily take that and buy. Safe's gonna pick up the op. He also had a very good challenger stage in some of their big games. He was top of the board. Overall inconsistency this year. When he played on Pain in Stockholm, he showed that he was too good to play at a tier 2 level. Now that he's come on to Furia, he hasn't quite matched up to, I feel like, the same level of stature as somebody like Henny has. But in my opinion, still, I mean, it feels like he's still growing, and it still feels like under pressure, he's not a question at all. He doesn't just simply go missing. So I think they're quite happy with that pickup. Also, pretty damn decent in the clutch. Funnily enough, having a lot of his clutches come by the way of rifle, not even the op.
I was going to say, you know, Furia is sort of a formula that sometimes if you're not swinging the big green, it's not the end of the world. You know, it's fast, it's electric, it's trade efficient. So it does feel like they need an opper who can go to the rifles, and I feel like that was always a fair criticism of Henny. Safe might not be the better sniper, but
yeah, this team is about the riflers. It's about Yuri and it's about Quesarado, 100%. You know, often the first guy in can die a lot. Of course, that's Art. And when he has a great game, the team is almost unstoppable. But with his playstyle, it comes with a lot of volatility as well. And you can't ask for consistency from someone who does that. And that's something that they've tapered back a little bit. And Art hasn't been even the player that we, when we were here in Rio last time, we had Furia losing to Avangard in the grand finals. That was a much wilder Furia than we see today. Much wilder. And you know, when I spoke to him and used words like aggressive and defensive, those weren't even really in his vocabulary. The way he looked at the game is one that you play for the gaps. You take the space that's given to you, and you don't think of things like smokes as walls. You think of them as sometimes warnings, but sometimes bluffs. And that has resulted in Furia to create their identity. That's who they are. And it's a style that's still working. People have been critical of Furia, but the last 3 years, they've maintained a place in the top 10 in the world. Right? Many other teams that people consider better have been outside of top 10 in the last 3 years.
Feels like always good for a quarterfinal. You know, this one would mean
top 8 the last 2 majors.
We just spoke about him at length. And Safe's going to open up, drop.
Oh my God.
The other newest piece of Furia has caught Diha. I don't know how.
Did they see him? Did Art see him through yellow here? I'm not sure. He's looking for this target. Backing up though, it's honestly, Art's incentive is just to get out of here because they have these 5 alive.
Ooh, Art though comes around the corner. You'd think Snappy should finish this off. Sure enough.
That's 2 of 3 though spotted now. So they just run into the B side, can get the plant off. We'll see if they even think about trying to go for the retake. Ence have very good retake utility, but the Heaven Molly comes in. There's an op-in play here for Ence. They're not exactly in the green economically. They have some left over, and it looks like they're going to throw some bits at it, see if Furia make a mistake.
Drop's going to stay pressed in.
Wow, they're really going to go for this?
All right, let's see it. Drop puts a very quick end to Valda. Insta headshot into Snappy, and that will be the departure for Sunpius.
So the interesting and unique thing about Vertigo is that you're lurking on sometimes all 3 parts of the map, and on an individual level, you have players over at B, over at A, individually as riflers waiting for duels, and that's something that you don't often see in other parts of on other maps, I should say. And look at Drop Go. He's been getting a ton out of his plays aggressively late into the round, and it's about keeping options open, and it's about how actually difficult it is to stop people from lurking. It's the B stairs are so wide, miles across. And if Drop wants to peek up at any time, or if there's going to be a boost to support him, then he can get a ton out of that by himself. You don't even need much support utility. It's really on the CTs to use a lot of utility to stop anybody from coming in or seeing anything. But you kind of always feel at risk when you're the CT sitting on the site by yourself. Whereas you look at like a Dust 2 B tunnels, you throw one smoke in that, you could stand anywhere. You know, on Vertigo, you smoke the stairs, it could be a wood wall boost. There could still be someone boosting in the smoke to one way over it. They can boost on the right side. I mean, your smoke is doing nothing. It's actually useless.
Map's a bit of a jungle gym.
Yeah. So Furia keep a lead here, 6 rounds.
Ooh, quick cross.
Oh, that's an interesting approach. But he missed the timing, Matt, as he walked back through this. They're not actually smoking. They're not smoking this entrance, and look at the feet getting shot off right now. Matt is working hard for that. But it's not just about hard work.
It's the first shot in. He's got the damage advantage, follows through. Both players blasting at the kneecaps, and Caserado walks away with 4 HP. Yuri's patience pays off, and now Ence, with everything invested in this one, have been splattered. Caserado just fell to his death. Don't worry about it. For the cause.
For the cause, yes.
For the cause.
It's a blood sacrifice to imbue his teammates with some more power.
The gods are pleased. Look, I'm getting nervous. The bomb's still down here at the bottom of A. Okay, all good. Art finds his way around the smoke.
Now this would be a crazy round. Sunpius, 1-on-4 situation with time.
They'll go B.
Yeah, they have the B side open. He's going to try to look for kills if he can find them. No one exchanging glances right now. Okay, and now Sunpius with this can think about what to do next. And for Furia, I think the next step is two things. It is falling to the pressure, right? We know that they can actually take big wins over versus big teams. When I was on Talking Counter podcast with Sponge, Yanko, and Moses the other day, I talked about this with Furia, that, you know, there's that famous quote from Mark where he says, we try to drag our opponents into the mud with us. And we have yet to see if that style of CS, whether it's Heroic doing it or Furia doing it, can be the best style in the world. And that's something I've always really wanted to see be possible. That multiple styles, aggressive, defensive, you know, the Cloud9 style, the Faze style, and the Furia style all work this moment. What?
He went to throw a nade off the map to pick up flashes, and
okay, well, it's a funnier story.
It didn't work.
You should always go for the funnier story. But with that, Furia, they've always tried to play like the underdog. They always said, if we play like Astralis, then we'll never beat Astralis. But now, they get to see Astralis, right? They consistently find the final boss in tournaments over and over again. They're no longer in their training arc. They're no longer in their underdog arc. People are watching how they play, and they also respect how they play as well. And so in this last year, it's been about Furia trying to optimize little things to make sure they can keep up with top teams while also maintaining a semblance of their identity, which makes them worth watching and is the reason that they've been able to carve out a place, you know. When Furia asks why them, they know, because they have an identity.
To go beyond the quarterfinals.
Yes.
You know, to not make it just the one-offs where you know you keep all your opponents on their toes, but they have that consistent win. No.
That's the cutest. That's the cutest logo variation I've ever seen in my life. Well, Furia will try to put a bow on it. They're off to a great start with the 8 rounds here.
They are.
And yeah, I mean, looking at Challenger, you know, there's a fair few people that thought, okay, this is just too much pressure. The team that gets into quarterfinals and loses, now they have to play in front of the home crowd as the best Brazilian team. They have the most expectations, and now there's a crowd in the stage that never had a crowd before. They could fall to the pressure, and they'd have every excuse, but they survived.
That they did. So far, so good at this tournament and within this first map of theirs, Legend stage. Ence have been waiting to get to Rio. Diha holds off that Tetris, but no kill. csgo gets him instead. Madden presses out. He's going to finish off drop. Down to 20 thanks to the nade. Well, csgo finds the headshot. Flash goes deep to CT. Counter-terrorists continuing to apply that pressure. Snappy coming at this so that he's busy. And sure enough, it works. 2 kills from Snappy. Fresh magazine in. Ready for another. He's got no support here at the moment. No teammate, but does he need one? Snappy finding that 3rd kill and pushing all the pressure onto the shoulders of Yuri. He's worried about that flank. It's been so long and still nobody else has showed up. Where the hell are they? Back towards CT and mid. That's where.
They're not in a position to rush this bomb down as it gets planted. 40 seconds, Yuri. Will even fake plant? No. He thinks and he knows, based on the tendencies of Ence, that they will give him space here, but they've also been good at coordinating on the retakes.
Sampaias to the left, goes down first. Yuri now headhunting as Valdo works forward, and he's got himself both kills.
What was that adjustment?
That's Yuri, baby.
Unreal. Perfect read on both peaks. And I talked about the coordination between Ence. They didn't have it there. Coming in from Heaven and CT, ready to take those fights on an individual level. And these two guys, csgo and Yuri, I swear I look at them and I can't tell the difference. Such composed riflers in every situation. Many clutches, more probably to csgo's name, as we can see, they're cut from the same cloth.
That they are. You know, and csgo finding this whole new level, this extra level that could go even beyond that of Yuri as of late. I mean, that is a winning formula for Furia. Valda, he's still inside of the short pocket. That's a CT molly he has to run back from, but Valda's still fighting.
Oh my God, Art saw him, turned away, and now Valda got 2 kills, and it's made this a 4-on-3 situation, but look what happens every single time.
You leave a crack in the armor, and Furia will flood through it. However, it's not as though they went sprinting into B, so they don't have these deep positions. Diha with the deagle, dropped. And now csgo able to cross into that site. Bomb inbound. It's been dropped for the time being. They're going to press in. They're going to kill Madden first, or so they thought. It will not come for free. Safe gets the cover. Continues to work forward. Bomb on his back. And they feel like they've got Sampaias pinned because sure enough, he is stuck. And now swiftly swept away. Bomb will go down. It's a 1 versus 2 here for Valda. He's the reason that Ence had any life in this round to begin with. Now, last post plant, there was nobody coming in from this flank, despite how much time had passed. Now, we have Valda on it. And we can see Safe turning back and forth, but that can make it awkward. The crosshair readjustment with the AWP, it's now been confirmed and spotted, and there's no kit for Valda. He does get the first kill fast. Safe down. Cerrado up next. And what do you know? It's another one for Furia. In fact, it's a pretty damn dominant T-side, because that's what they do. They feel blood in the water, and they rush forward with a 10-round T-half.
That could be a problem for Stewie. Burning, he's got to get the pod.
Oh, he's a madman. We see the consistent aggression, Art with a third, and he's hungry for more. Oh, it's a collateral Zephyr and Leave, take it in one shot. Art is nuts.
This is what we love. This is what we live for. All this energy. I think it's time we see how this second half goes. Scrawny Lawless, what you got for me?
Leave it to James to find a place in the front seat.
Yeah, that's a good place to be.
That it absolutely is. What do I have for you, James? I got a Furia 10-5 T-side here on Vertigo. A nice, strong start as Ence's individuals look like they had heated up and caught up, but again, it's 4 rounds at the start of the half. It's 5 rounds at the end of the half. It was just that middle of the pack that went well for Ence.
When we look back on the big game, the opener for the challenger stage. Furia went to overtime and lost, and it looked really bad. They only got 3 rounds on T side. Oof. And of course, that matched Big, but it didn't win them the game because in overtime, Big pulled it together. But Furia here, 10 rounds on T side. Obviously, night and day difference, showing that they've improved on what they already knew. This map for Ence has been interesting. They've lost it twice recently outside of Eternal Fire. They don't really have any big wins, in fact.
Okay, Serato gets Gush, but check dropout inside next to the wood wall. Ooh, okay, Serato, little bits of HP, but a big punch nonetheless. And he's not able to finish off the stairs players. So we've got Ence up the B ramp into the site with bomb down. Yuri and Safe. Ooh. Looking to come through with what could be a critical early clutch. You pick this up, all of a sudden it seems like smooth sailing.
Release.
Smoke up for Yuri, throws it on top. And this is no gun round. This is going to be pistols to try and spam through if desperation sinks in. But it's also no kit. So sure enough, Valda starts to pop off with the Glock. CT's pressing in, and Safe with Yuri by his side, jump on top of Bomb.
Oh, now they're on their comfort side. They win the pistol round in the second half. Things are lining up. And here's where it's about, do you see the finish line? Or are you playing not to lose? Furia have performed the setup stage to its absolute perfection. They get this retake going on in the pistol round. Oh, we got a cameo from Taco. Another legend of the game here at Rio. At the end of this challenger stage with Furia's last match, we had Fallen wearing a mask to sneak into the middle of the crowd, taking it off. That was a celebration. Amazing to have all of these legends sticking around.
Hey man, I feel like this is nothing short of a celebration of Counter-Strike. Brazil showed up.
Yeah, it's an honor to have this crowd in our game. I mean, this is insane.
Ooh.
So, well, okay.
Yeah.
Ence look to, they don't care. They don't care about all that. They want to win. Yeah, they're here to perform in the Legends stage. And Madden angrily swings out mid to take one out. Now, Serato, this is a classic position for him. He loves these angles, and he gets his 1 kill. A team kill out from Valda means it's actually up numbers here for Furia.
Can't forget about Art either, bottom of the B steps. He's actually the one that cuts off the other end of this. So had Ence bested him, well then, this site could have been already gone in its entirety. Safe, pressing in, Diha's on green, Valda dies in the back.
Oh, we saw his backpack.
We saw the shadow, and Diha still delivers, but not both. Ooh. No sir, Yuri stands up tall. His 17th and 18th kill in the conversion, but let's be honest, Ence with lesser weapons still just sliced through and almost overpowered that B site. Again, you know, Art's MP9 versus a Galil bottom ramp, man, that would have made a much more comfortable post plant. But because Art's still down there, they're not able to plant for it. They're not able to take up those positions. They have to stay here close. You know, does Valda really play on top of orange boxes if instead he could have been ramp? I don't know. But regardless, Ence will still bounce back off with a bye. We've got Galil's in with a singular AK and enough utility to try and test Furia early on this T side. Art's going to press into the gap.
Yeah, he's on the same position just like Snappy was, of course. I think when Vertigo got introduced to the pool, Furia were actually the best team on it, period. They kind of invented a lot of stuff. We still use the Art Smoke every day for all the top teams, and pushing down the ramp became normal because of him. But oh, the trade from another player, actually from the Heaven player, and drops HE, keeps us into a 4-4 situation. We've seen the bomb down twice now, and that peak is insane from Diha, man.
Just dirty.
It's fairly hard to get a shoulder peek off and trick Serato.
Drops up.
Whoa.
Slides through. He slides through, and Snappy's going to get blindsided again. Problematic.
Oh my God.
Drops, found it. Back at it, and Madden, well, he slipped through. Back in with an answer. 18 health left over. Sun Pius on the opposite end of the map has to slowly crawl over, but he will not get here in time to save Madden, nor this round, you'd think. But he's going to give it the old college try. Sun Pius into ZT. Drop by Art. And Furia take themselves forward to 13.
Wow, he just lingered over there. Is drop a rookie or not? I mean, it's like he just squeezed water from stone right there. There was no other play he could have made that would have been safer to use this smoke to his advantage. He split the offense, made them face him, allowed for the Heaven player to come in and get a free frag on the hunt for drop, stayed alive during all that, all the way until the end. And Arc was able to get his kill because he wasn't even spotted that entire time.
Not going to shy away from fights, no. No chance. Arc thrives in the fire. Frag finds its target. We've got one on the tarp and a nice cracking headshot in from Sunpius. Here we go. Ence will not go down easy. Safe finds the fadeaway, back into the boxes, expectant of a short push, but there's actually nothing over there. And now that Drop has come over to bolster this defense with a front side short smoke, that actually creates the perfect pocket for Safe to go and tuck into. And if he wants to get real weird, he goes through this.
Yeah.
But it's all about the timing.
His gun is showing now. Yeah, over top of the smoke, Madden solves that.
Gets a little too aggressive, a little too hopeful. And with fire on the feet of Valda, it will deny the plant for the time being. Everybody pressed in close. Diha stuck in this corner. I mean, he's got nowhere to run. He's going to peek instead, and that's going to feed one to K-Serrato. There's another incendiary.
The bomb isn't planted yet.
No, sir, because they burned it off.
Oh my God,
and now it
it's
gets
in the
dropped.
open.
This is a 2 versus 4. Ence made it possible off of the Tech 9s. Madden further back, again in with another kill, but K-Serrato, can you clutch? Snappy's got him honed in as he climbs over top. Snappy's by the box, and K-Serrato nails it.
He keeps moving.
3 kills as Furia will give no chance to Ence, no breath, no chance at all, no life in this one as they stagnate on 5, even with what was been one of the better chances. Tech 9's up the ramp look great until that 2v4 comes through.
Every disadvantage in the book here for the CTs playing retake spots, apart from the utility. And these players, K-Serrato with another clutch in the game, and a 2v4. And if their mood wasn't at its maximum already, I mean, what else can you say? Are probably feeling a little bit regretful there about the push going into the Tech 9s, him and his teammate dying at the same time. And Furia looked to just absolutely stomp out Ence in the opening round. There is going to be another buy coming in, but right now, I mean, that wasn't even a retake, but it kind of was. 2v4, not even letting bomb go down. Multiple retakes won in the second half. None of the big plays here for Ence. This could be final seconds for them, especially thinking about what their money's going to look like if they lose this round.
Madden's going to skirt around the smoke. They have left openings for Ence. That much undeniable. Molly down on Snappy. He's forced back. Chipped to 68. Utility pressure a constant, but Madden will still manage to get into the sandbags. Little wallbang damage, but it actually goes both ways, and Valda ends up on the bottom of the fight. Madden's still hunting, burned away into the open. Safe will find that. And Ence, you can try your absolute damnedest to press in, but even the MP9 seemingly finds its mark. Valda yet to get a chance. It is just constant bombardment from utility, from peaks, from the pressure. Furia all ready to fight. Every single player in position. Incendiary again. It's the same problem that Madden had, but now it's Diha instead. Taken down to 20. They'll limp into this bomb site still with a chance, but with the bomb down at the dirt, Safe, he's low. Snappy, dropped by Yuri, as yet again Furia just turn Ence around. Hell, nice tap. Gotta give it where it's due. But Diha, just a massive ask. He would need the ace in the 1v4. This is going to be Furia sitting on an early victory. 15-5, 10 match points.
And all they have to do is tighten up a little bit for the anti-eco. Basically, the force buys coming through. It is not looking good for Ence. They might be able to pull together a few Galils here. They want utility, and it'll actually be majority AK, so they'll take some concessions. Max round loss with a few dollars left over. They might avoid a total blowout. We're in a position where Art doesn't even need to upgrade his MP9. He's gonna chill and wait. And right now, actually, Furia, I mean, they can't even upgrade. The money isn't quite there. Oh, and Art goes down quick.
Yeah, D has been doing his job and then some, playing as best he can to try and stop this. Nicely done from Sunpius. presses into smoke, finds that little gap.
Yeah, they've actually got to think about this. I mean, Furia, I mean, they could try to play it aggressively if they'd like to, but this is a powerful spot already that Ence have found themselves in, and they'll end up having to save this next round.
So maybe you just call it quits. I don't know. Safe tries to pressure, and with nothing found, you'd think just cut your losses. So be it. Give them a 6th. What is it in the grand scheme of things?
Yeah. And that's the thing, they're being relentless. They're still pushing A ramp every single round, happy to do it. This time they drop B. A cool chaos drop with the MP9. There are just so many outs for Furia in this game. Every single type of round has been won so far in both halves. And when it comes to the pressure men, it looks like Ence are the ones who are pressured. They clearly showed it in the first few rounds. They haven't had any of the clutches. They haven't had any of the retakes or denied post plants or anything like that in a lot of advantage situations. Now, it doesn't mean that they can't get warm. We saw what Big did as soon as they got comfortable and saw a gap in Furia's game. But when we want to look at the statistical analysis of this matchup right now, it would have been the first half that Ence would naturally take a lead and really expose the flaws of Furia. On CT side, they're going to feel good and comfortable. And Ence, they're the ones who have to be disappointed about what they were able to pull off while defending. With 3 saves, the buy comes in again. Really good utility.
Hard as he does. Sampaius doesn't seem to see it. No, sir. It's 2 kills in for Furia. Madden on the recovery. You've got to bring it back. But guess what? It's not just Art who presses in. It's not just Safe. It's not just Yuri. It's the entirety of Furia.